And I think we have some things that we need to discuss, but I'd like to go through the budgets. What?
I left mine.
Since we haven't made any changes, really. Here. That'll work.
Thank you, sorry about that.
What's the date on that?
It's, it doesn't have a date.
Yeah, it does, someplace. Look in the top left-hand corner, on the next page, into the budget.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Mine says 2/1.
11/27.
Oh, that one's no good. Well, maybe you could sit up here and we can look at this together.
I took a bath this morning.
I know, so did I. Okay. I'd like to just go through
Geez, you beat Representative Chandler. He didn't have anything to say about putting the taxes in different places.
I did not. Okay, the issue that
Well, you're left-handed too. That makes it work out.
yeah. There was one issue on the annual reports, and that was going to putting it online and making only the required copies.
Right.
So I think that depending upon how we feel, I would think that we could reduce that by $500.
I would agree.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. And the taxes for the town of Ossipee, we're going to move that to zero because it's going to be picked up
Well,
in...
that, but also, I think you could cut $100 or $200 out of it just because they've never come close to 7,000.
Here, okay. This was 1213. So that's 6,600.
Well, that's all four together?
Yeah, and $52.
I mean, you can,
And I don't know what the tax rate. Oh, this is 12. So the 13, they'll pay this amount in,
well, isn't this the
June.
tax rate for this year right up here?
it's the same thing I have right here.
Oh,
But this is, this is the first half, and then they have one in June. And then they'll have one again in December with new tax.
yeah, that's
rate.
$66.50.
Mhm.
It would seem to me we could lop $100 or $200 off.
Okay.
Just because
So we'll need to,
you need to figure out where.
yeah, I think we can do that. Okay. I'll have to pass that on to Mark and
Right.
Chris.
Right.
Okay. So, would we say 66? So we could probably take a couple hundred off
Yeah.
anyhow.
I would think so. But then, like you say, we're gonna zero that out and,
Right, but we're gonna zero it out. Photocopier, they spent more than what they're budgeting last year. Insurance, I guess that's what they're anticipating it to cost, so I'm not gonna worry about it.
you know,
Hi, I'm sorry, is this a subcommittee on?
Yeah.
Which,
everything else.
We're the miscellaneous.
Yeah, no, that's yours and the commissioner and the capital improvements and,
okay.
Don't worry, we only cut your budget in half.
Do you need me in here for anything?
well, I'll tell you what, when we start talking about wages, which we'll do in a little while,
Okay,
then we'll come and get you,
okay.
okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Would you do me a favor and call Kathy and see if she's available to come up?
Yep, right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to defer the new equipment because I don't remember what that was. As well as the IT.
Right.
Okay. I think the treasurer is okay on everything.
He is a little bit up from the actuals from the past 2 years.
Couple $100.
Yeah.
I don't think that's worth worrying about. Okay, then we go to,
Special fees.
yeah. Okay, county auditor, legal fees, and life safety fees. I don't know what those are.
The life safety fees, I think that was the system that she was talking about for material safety sheets, MDS.
Oh, the material data sheet. Yeah,
Now,
you're
I
right.
don't know if that's a requirement. You know, I was going to ask about,
That was Lynette that, okay, so let's get her back when she comes back and we'll
Yeah.
ask that question. Okay, human resources.
It's her again, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll skip that one for now. And go to administration building. I need to talk to Kathy on that one as well. What page was that on? 11. Okay. The salary, the social security. See, this guy obviously doesn't take medical insurance.
seems to be a wide swing in maintenance supplies.
Right, but remember, that's because...
Is that the vacuum?
No, don't you
No.
remember that was maintenance? It was the fact that the maintenance department is going to...
Oh,
So I don't understand this either. Okay, maintenance supplies.
Isn't that the famous, only one person in the place should buy toilet paper section?
Probably. Hi, Kathy, sorry.
Were the commissioners coming back?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We're in administration building.
Okay.
And we have a question on maintenance supplies.
Oh, okay.
It's up,
Yeah, I
it's
see.
almost doubled what it was,
In-
of what what was
What
spent.
was spent, yeah. I can ask Jerry.
Would
No,
you,
I'd have to ask him.
well, why don't you have him come up?
Well, okay, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, we can skip that one and when you get
Yeah,
back.
he's just right down there.
Oh, okay.
We can finalize all this on the 17th. You hope?
I don't think there's anything we can do about interest expense or long-term debt,
True.
okay? Capital reserve, there's $0 in there. Capital expenditures, which is on page roughly 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what the,
I thought, yeah, it was obvious that they decided not to spend that 5,000.
Right.
Because I'd written 0 in there.
right, yeah, they were going to use the one at the nursing home.
Right, that was for safe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And,
Has that law been passed and is it effective, your law?
no, it's not effective yet.
Okay.
It's passed the committee, but it hasn't gone to the Senate. About the note takers?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not even sure if it's come up for a vote.
I don't think so. In the,
Maybe it may have been on the
Consent calendar.
consent calendar last
I
week.
think it was.
Yeah, I think it was, but it'll have to go to the Senate. So anyhow, I looked over that DocStar
mhm.
thing, and with our conversation that we had here last week and, you know, all that other stuff, I personally am not ready to invest that money in the program. So I'd like to hear what each of you have to say about it.
Are you talking about now or in general?
Now, because they've got the money in here, in the budget for it. I think they said that the 2 servers were 34,000, right? Is
Well, I
that,
think that one of the things that we need to think about, or somebody needs to think about, is how would we buy it? Would we buy it, because there was 2 ways. I think you could get a lease purchase or something, and then you,
It was also under General Services Administration contract, so you could buy it directly under the GSA contract.
and anyway, I think that somebody needs to sort through that. I would have no problem in doing it next year or something like that.
I would feel more comfortable in going through the performance audit first and seeing the recommendations and, you know, changes that are recommended there so that we can include any of those changes in the workflows that are set up within the document management system.
I thought that they had I like the system, but are there any, did we look at other ones?
No,
How come, is that the only one that going, or?
no.
if it, and if it's on the GSA contract, that really is what they should look at.
Yeah.
And then decide which ones off the contract they would like, so. How much was that, 20?
28, as I recall.
28?
What, for the,
The DocStar.
in the DocStar, it's 30,000 in the budget.
30?
It's my hand scratching.
Okay, so then if I take 30 out, that leaves 26 for the servers.
At the jail.
That doesn't get do the favor, so it doesn't get passed around. Will you email it to me?
I have a somewhat irrelevant question. On the performance audit, do we have to wait until we finalize the budget in order to do that?
No, it's what we have to wait for.
Or to pay
Yes.
it?
is that I had thought that the contract had already gone out,
Yeah.
and it has not, and so that's what we're waiting for.
Okay, but we can
Okay.
go ahead and do the
Right.
thing and
Right,
hope the budget comes along.
yeah.
Well, it has to come along by the end of the month.
Yeah. I know, it keeps getting shorter and shorter
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shorter.
yeah.
But,
It's good
yeah.
there's 31 days in the month.
Yeah, well, it's not only, it's good that there are 5 Mondays in the month.
That's right, yes.
That is the really good thing.
Yes.
Really, really good thing. Okay,
So I would move that we cut $30,000 then.
yeah. Okay, so that's the capital expenditures. I think it's a good, a good program. I think the philosophy is good. And I'm glad that they were looking at it. But I do think that if the commissioners and the IT committee make the decision that Doc Star is the right one, for this,
Yeah, because it sounded like when John was explaining that there's certain infrastructure that needs to take place.
yeah. So I
Well, I
think,
think you have to, just, you have to think through the whole process of handling documents.
so, I do think that there can be work done on that this year,
So they took the 30,000 out?
so that you can,
Correct.
so that, we can make a more logical decision.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Next
yeah,
year.
right. Hopefully the IT committee will
Right, and,
pursue.
yeah. And the other thing is that we certainly would like to have, or I would anyhow, like to have the whole
Campus.
campus on board at the same time.
Mhm.
Maybe not the same day,
No,
but,
no, no, no.
but one right after another. Because I'm sure that the guy will have to go, from.
Well, that's why I said we would have to get a special package because
Right,
we're
right.
The
not.
Net Connect
Yeah,
package.
yeah.
So anyhow. Okay. Was that all of ours? Except for that BEAS, right? And,
Another person never came, did they?
no. And I asked Representative Ticehurst if we could, if she would check again and see what happened and maybe have her come on the 17th. So,
Karen, did the lady call and say she wasn't gonna come this morning?
Nothing?
We
Just didn't show
hear
up.
from her.
As far as we know, she just didn't show up.
I asked Susan if she knew, and she said no, she was expecting her. So that's all I know. Okay, is the,
I talked to Jerry. He's kind of in the middle of something, but he
okay,
said.
wait, just a
that
minute,
The administer supplies.
where are we?
We're on page 11.
Page 12,
Yeah, for whatever.
administration building,
Mhm.
Right,
maintenance supplies.
right. He said that it could be cut back.
Okay.
And that's what he spent in 2013,
Okay,
the 1898.
so if we cut that back to 2,000,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Where are you working?
Yeah, what are you
Page
talking about?
12,
Yeah?
Yeah?
it's supplies,
Maintenance
Supplies?
supplies.
maintenance supplies.
051.
051.
Page 12,
Yeah?
Okay.
Oh, I see, maintenance
right
supply.
in the middle.
Okay.
So 3,800 goes to 2,000.
2,000.
Actually, the number is
Yep.
above it now.
Yeah.
And the new equipment is the vacuum cleaner, right?
Right, and then
And what's the IT for?
that's his portions of the, we distribute the Cybertron contract, so that's part of
How much were they
his,
cutting
those are
back
his
for maintenance?
contracts with,
Cutting
Cybertron
it
and
back to
Cotron.
2,000, I guess.
Chronos.
Chronos.
Chronos,
The
okay.
other thing was, do you want to put under new equipment, that $6,000 for
Mhm.
that backflow.
Yeah. I just wonder whether that, well, I don't know whether that should be purchased by water or if it should be purchased by the admin
Oh,
building.
okay.
But it needs to be purchased by somebody.
Right.
I would think it'd be the admin building. Because if a private water department were selling it, they would charge the customer.
Mhm. That's true. But in our convoluted way we have of doing business at times
Maybe
in
we
the
should let the
county.
prison.
Yeah, we should. Okay,
Because it
I
is in
think-
this building.
huh?
It
I
is
think
inside.
In that case, I think it would be sent out for bid and have them install it.
They
I don't
can't,
think our
no.
water department can install it.
If your water department can't install it, then you better get somebody to training ASAP.
Well, that's my opinion.
I mean, you've got backflow devices all over the town, all over the village,
Mhm.
okay? And so somebody needs to be able to install, repair, fix, have a contract, something.
Okay.
But if your guy isn't trained in that, they have training out there that I think costs nothing, that's provided by DES for backflow
Mhm.
training. Because they've got to be inspected once a year and, I don't know, whatever. But it was
So
evident.
You're putting in 6,000 under that item?
Yeah,
So it's 6,400?
Do you want to put that in if we're going to move water eventually to an
Well-
enterprise?
Yeah, but I think that for this year, we're gonna have to put in, so that line on new equipment would now read 6 and 3 is 9,500. Okay. And,
wait. No, it's
whoops,
400.
I'm sorry,
Yeah. So 6,400?
yeah. Okay. And, I believe that your sewer guy talked to, the North Conway Water Precinct?
Yeah, Jerry did,
Okay,
the main.
Jerry did?
Yeah, he
Okay.
called them.
Okay.
And they don't,
No, they don't install them.
no.
But they have catalogs that will, you can get them at a wholesale price. You don't have to pay retail for it. Okay, and, just tell them who you are, and I believe that they'll do a wholesale price for you. And,
You get a government price.
I don't know, they may have them on the GSA schedule, but, there should be, that needs, just don't, and I'm not, so, all I'm suggesting is that when you go out to look for this part, okay, you go to the catalogs, you don't have to, that's, and you ask the company, is that the price for a government entity? And so, but to formally send out, bids is kind of crazy. Because the catalogs are there, he can look on the GSA schedule for backflow devices and, come up with something. So,
Okay.
Okay, what about this generator expense? I know you explained that once to me and it's gone off my head.
Let me get the expenditures.
Out of the contract.
The generator contract is divided up because it's in the sewer system also. Or at least that, I had a note that it was under maintenance and repair. But maybe my note is wrong.
What line is that? 80.
I think we have 2 generators under that contract.
Was there a generator underneath the nursing home also?
I think that's under the nursing home. But
Why?
we have one for the old nursing home and this building.
Is this the generator expense because the sheriff is in the building?
Yes.
The
Well,
$172 that was spent
Basically,
for
forgive us,
fuel
Yeah.
for the generator.
basically,
No,
He's
oh,
gonna
you mean
keep up
the,
his dispatch service.
yep,
To make the generator work.
Blame it on us if you want, but it's there because of him.
okay.
yeah.
So why are we going to 1,000?
It was 386 in 2012 and 173 last year.
754 and 11.
Well,
I don't know for like, if there's any repairs
I'd
on
like
it.
to, let's reduce that to 300. And if there's a comment, then, that there's.
How about 500?
Well, he can provide us a comment, and then we'll adjust it. Whatever it is. If he's got to do repair on it, then I don't have a problem. And the care of grounds, what is that?
Mowing
That's,
lawns, snow plowing.
no, that was taken out.
Yeah.
That was
But
taken out.
What's in there is dumpster removal,
Trash.
septic,
Septic cleaning?
What do you pay for septic?
Nothing. They run their own septic system.
That's what I was thinking.
well, we have, right outside here.
Yeah.
There's tanks that have to that are part of, I don't know what, that have to get cleaned.
And you pay,
DJ Septic was paid that.
okay.
Like I said, trash pickup.
Oh, that's fine.
Dumpster stuff, yeah.
That seems like a lot if that's all that's in there. All right, care of grounds.
How often do you pump the septic system?
Twice a year?
Once a year?
I think it's twice.
Gotta be at least twice a year,
Twice?
minimum, yeah.
What do they charge you for it?
I don't know, she would have it.
One time was $690.
So if that's, let's say it's twice a year, so that's 1,300.
Right.
Okay. And so the trash cost is 10,000? Is that a contract for the whole place or just?
It's a contract with Waste Management.
Wasn't this the subject of some discussion about whether it should be bid out, or there was a 2-year extension?
Pardon me?
Was this where there was some discussion about whether it should be bid, or they were offering a 2-year contract at a reduced rate? Or
What
was
had
that something else?
happened was, in the last 3-year contract, they were supposed to increase it 6% every 3 years.
Right.
As it turned out, we discovered they had very nicely increased it 14% the last year. So we called them in here and they said, in lieu of that, we'll give you your money back, plus we'll extend the contract for 2 years from including the 7 months that are not in the finished contract. So it would have been 29 months, and we'll give you the 2011 prices. That required a unanimous vote of the board, and Commissioner Kenny would not go along with it. We also had the 2 competitors in that could compete on the job, and they both said they would no bid it.
They both said what?
They would no bid it.
They would not bid.
They would not bid.
Yeah.
So, do you have a thing on this, on the trash?
I had $240 a month.
Where's the container? He takes it over to the dumpster, doesn't he?
Mhm.
2880.
Must be something else under that.
Yeah, well, we took the 12,000 out.
Right.
And, because
Reduced
it
to
was,
12.
and so the 18, we spent in 2013, 18,027. So we took out the 12,000 for the budget to make it 12,000. So actual expenditures
Okay.
above the,
How about,
6,000.
how about?
so that it was
Yeah.
6,000.
How about getting us some information on what that actually includes? Because we've accounted.
Well, it's looking at his detail here, we've got, like, flags, building flag, there's several odds and ends things here. And, the sand, the hoses that we have on the buildings, there's several, just thing, I can give you this printout so you can see.
Well, I mean, it just seems that that's,
Outside light,
okay, we've got 3,
smoke designated smoke
Okay.
signs, some rock salt.
4180.
yeah, we've got 4180. Okay, so what you're telling us is that basically $8,000 is needed for miscellaneous.
No, I would say,
Well, if you got
You
12.
say-
no, I would say last
We
year,
could-
we could cut more
Yeah.
because it was, it was 18,000 in 2013, and that included the
Right.
12,000 care of grounds. So if you take that off of the 18, it's 6,000.
I know, but I'm trying to account for the 12,000. We've got 4,100 in septic cleaning,
Yeah, so you only
And
need to account for
garbage.
6,000.
and garbage, or, yeah.
So 6,000. I mean, he has 12,000 in here, but you could reduce it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To what figure? Anybody have a suggestion? You want to do 8?
It's 12 now, right?
Make it 8.
So-
I'd do 5,000. Make it 5,000.
But then that only leaves $600 for
Well,
flags
cut it in
and
half,
salt
make it-
and sand. And that, I mean, it's not $6,000 worth, but it's more than,
We'll make it a total, cut the 12 to 6.
okay.
8,000.
I like-
I'd take 4,000 off it.
I like 8 as well, personally.
Me too.
So-
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Mhm.
All right. I mean, you won't throw a fit when we come to the delegation meeting?
Probably not.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Okay. The building and repair, the 4,000, that's for the air conditioning. Oh, no, that's the 10,000 figure, is for the repair of the rooftop air conditioning.
What did you make care of grounds, Madam Chairman, 8,000?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Did you take off 8 or did you take off 4?
It
Took off 4.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we didn't get very far on that one today, did we?
Yes, let's cut it in half.
Yeah. Then I would go to jail.
Couldn't we arrange for the commissioners to go to jail?
Well, that's another option.
I didn't hear that.
It's probably not.
Is that a motion?
No, that's probably not,
Could we, just for the hell of it, the next time we print this thing, could we print BEAS instead of DEAS?
Yeah.
Since they've apparently changed?
yeah,
Okay,
it's
so they're-
board and something or other.
Okay,
Okay.
and there's nothing. we can
So-
do.
Act like we know something?
Yeah, that's like we know something.
I think there's one county that's not paying it till the state comes out and explains why.
Cheshire.
Okay, so the commissioner's budget has been reduced by $7,500. I wish.
Do we need,
For, I'm sorry, where, for the tax?
No, we took 7,000 out for the taxes, and that will go to where it belongs, and we reduced the annual report $500.
Okay.
Do we need 2,000 for education and conferences? In this budget season, I'm all for cutting things like that.
Is that under, what number?
17, 18, depending on.
Oh, 17.
Okay. What is that involved?
What page are you on?
Page
One.
1.
Oh. I thought we got by that.
Oh, no, we're just jumping around.
What'd you say, education and conferences?
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, we spent 1,900.
I know,
Right.
but what conferences and education are you planning for this year?
New Hampshire Association of Counties. It's gonna be down in Nashua this year, which means probably staying overnight, maybe.
Is that all three of you?
Normally.
What's it called, New Hampshire?
Association of Counties.
And sometimes we attend also in the office
Uh-huh.
to some of the classes. Most of the trainings we go to, we try to do the Primex ones where there's no cost.
Okay, so this is all in that training?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, fine. Okay, other fees and services. We paid $10. I don't know what those were. And we're budgeting 150?
Yeah, 2011, we spent 248, I mean,
Do you know what are they?
oh, the $10 was for, we had to get copies of blueprints.
I'll move, we cut the whole thing.
Well, I don't think we want to do that. Personally. What's your thought?
$150, that'd flip a coin.
Either 0 or 150?
No, I'd make it $1 if you're gonna cut it to nothing, but. Yeah, leave it at 100 if you wanna cut some.
Okay. Does 100 work for you, Glenn?
Okay.
All right,
We're cutting 50 then.
right. Okay. And our dues, licenses, and subscriptions are going up $1,000?
Is that the New Hampshire Association dues, Kathy?
Yeah,
That went
How
up.
how
Yeah.
much is that?
because in 2011 it was 11,943. This year it was 10,618.
Is that just the New Hampshire Association of
No, I
Counties?
think
That's the
it's-
National Association.
There's-
We said
yeah.
Goes
previously.
through the New Hampshire.
Right. How much is the National Association of Counties? NACO.
Is that just a subscription fee, or is it based on some other criteria?
Okay, National Association of Counties was 750.
And that's going up to either 8 or 850.
And the Association of Counties, I'm not sure how they determine that.
For the New Hampshire Association?
Yeah, there's a formula.
That's staying the same.
It's staying the same, okay.
So we've got 850, and what did we pay last year?
10.6.
No?
Oh, I'm sorry.
10,618 total. We had a subscription, our annual to the Salmon Press for $36 was in there also, the newspaper.
So 850, 36, and
National Association is the rest, New
10,000.
Hampshire Association is the rest.
Well, the 850,
9,832.
isn't that going up from
right,
just $100 or something?
yeah.
So we don't want to put 850 in there. I think.
No, that's why I was, what the New Hampshire conference was 9,000 something, right?
Okay, you're
9,000.
starting from scratch, okay.
9,832.
Okay, so if I add those up, I get 8, 11, 7, I get $10,718.
So I'll move, we cut 1,000.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Postage, I know postage went up. I don't know if it went up that much, but I guess it did. Advertising. This advertising, is this for, what is this advertising for?
If we have to do any advertising in our office, it's not,
Need for people or?
No.
no, that would be HR, but if we have to,
I know we didn't spend any last year.
we didn't spend any last year. In 2011, we did
In 2012, it was $60.
$60.
I'll move, we cut to 100.
Down to 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Annual reports.
Yeah, we've already done that one.
That's right, we did that before. Yeah.
And this travel expense, is this your mileage, or is this the mileage for?
It's
the-
for the 3 commissioners and in our office, if there's
Okay.
any.
All right. Okay. All right. Anything else?
Ossipee down tax.
Don't
Did-
get me started.
Did
No,
we say what
actually,
the
there's
new
an
equipment
RSA.
was?
It says that you can.
That's a, oh, wait, just a minute. No. Was that a computer?
That's really, for any of our equipment that, if it
Dies.
dies on us. I mean, we've had the
Copier's under contract, so
the
that
cop,
won't.
for the printers that we have for
Right,
or our PCs,
This is just
Uh,
in case.
in case.
yeah.
And that's not a great deal of money. Okay. So, I guess, oh yes, life safety fees, under special fees and services.
Mm-hmm.
What are those?
That was,
It's been 0.
right, it's new, it's a new line, the
Mhm.
3,300, it's something with the chemicals monitor, remember when I explained it?
Right, was
The-
that the global,
The
one where you
global
look up something-
harmonization system.
I remember
Right.
that.
Oh,
And
okay.
with all the chemicals
Okay.
and what we've got on campus and it's,
My question, one question there would be, the nursing home has their new system. I would think that their system might also have a capability to monitor, is it just medical, material safety data sheets? Which I think that's what this is, MSDS.
it's, cleaning products that we have.
Right, it's MSDS sheets.
It's at the whole county.
But I would think that their system would, well,
We still have the other buildings.
right.
I mean, does their system have that in it?
The nursing home, I really don't know.
I mean, it seems to me if it does, you could at least pay them $10 a pop if you wanted to look, rather than buying.
I wasn't part of that conversation when they,
Does somebody
That
have to
we
do?
could-
Yeah, you
Yes.
need,
Yeah.
you have to have the material safety data sheets. And what I think they're currently doing is they probably have a stack of paper like this,
Mhm.
okay? Because that's how if you don't have it on a computer, that's what you have.
I mean, do we get new stuff all the time so that we need to put it on the?
No,
computer?
it's not putting it on, it's the system has it on there, has all the material data sheets on it, or in it.
So you can look it up
Yeah.
on the computer
I got-
rather than.
I got that, but I
Okay.
mean, don't we know, do we have new material such that we need to look something up?
Well, I think that it's not just, you have to be able to see, what compounds are in there, if there's any spill of the material, or, if it's hazardous in any way, if it gets in someone's eyes, things like that.
I guess my point is, do we have all that information now on stuff that we currently have?
I would imagine it's in a paper form.
I mean, how many new things are we gonna get that's worth $3,000 or whatever the number is?
There-
I think
300.
I think it's to get rid of the paper.
Okay.
But I think that's a fair question
That's a lot of money.
to ask, no, to ask, to check to see what the nursing home has in relationship to their data system, and
Yep.
if it already has the MSDS data sheets as part of it, then we probably wouldn't need to get this global system.
Mhm.
Don't you have to have those right where you're using the material? In case there's a hazardous or spill or something?
Right, but
Lynette can explain it.
yeah, well, That's-
We were talking about harmony, as in global harmonization.
Global harmonization, yeah. And the EH&S compliance solution that we had put into the budget this year was the whole online material safety data sheets, which will be the GHS portion of this. So the questions are, do we really need it?
You know, do we already have it in the nursing home?
Does the ProShare system have a component for MSDS?
Not that I know of, no. Because this is just chemical related. It's not a part of the system that they have, which is all the medical records, that system, that whole software system that they put in. That's the medical compliance. It does not have anything to do with this safety feature that has to be throughout the entire campus, as all places that employ people.
so this will be on some server that everybody has access to.
Right.
Or
It will be
website?
on all of the servers.
Or is it a website?
It's a web-based, but the system itself will be on those people. So for example, at the nursing home, Bob Murray will have it on his, because he will be the one responsible for making sure that it is located throughout the facility for anyone who needs to access it and use it. Corrections, it will be Joe Boyd who will have the access to it and the updating of it, but making sure that it's on all of that everybody knows how to access it on the computers.
And it's on a server resident here in the administration building. And so if you get a new chemical for cleaning purposes or whatever, you would enter the system, and it updates the database on the server here, but then is available elsewhere via web browser?
Right, it's a web-based program, so it actually won't even be on the server here. It will
Okay.
be on,
In the
all
cloud
of those
someplace.
people who have licenses for it
Right.
will be able to access it. Yeah.
And this is the service charge for it, right?
That piece of it is, yes, it will end up being kind of that maintenance piece, but that's the implementation of it all also.
Okay.
Well, how much would the maintenance fee be? I would assume then that it would decrease next year.
No, because it stays at $3,000 to keep this going all the time.
Stays at
So
what?
it's an annual
Stays at
fee.
annual fee of $3,000.
Is it 3,000 or 3,300?
Well, the 3,300 is just the implementation part to get us going, and then it will stay at 3,000.
Okay.
$2,999.
So next year, we'll see a $400 increase, or decrease, $300.
Decrease, yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll have different site administrators, and if we chose to have, an additional site administrator, which I don't foresee that we would have to have that, those would be like $200 for another license.
Mhm. Okay.
But I don't think that would,
So in the future, when we have an IT cost center, it would move to the IT cost center, I would expect.
it could be a line in that piece.
Okay. Human resources and services. Okay. I think there was some consternation this morning about the increase in your other person in your office. And I would just like to go through that all again as to the $4,160 raise.
In fact, Kathy, I did want to ask, I had it less than that, but so that was including the 40-cent increase, or was the 40-cent increase additional on top of that?
No, that's not an additional.
Not an additional, okay.
And it wasn't supposed to be included either.
Right.
It was just the straight,
just the straight
Yeah.
increase, not
right.
including another 40 cents.
Right,
Okay, I
right.
just wanted to make
Yep,
sure.
yep.
So we just generally figured the salary was at 41.6, the new salary.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe
And I
pennies.
thought it was like a little less than that, but that's.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's 41.5, I don't, I just rounded it up to 20, because that was easier for me to multiply, okay? So we'll do 41.5, all right? So if that's what it is. And at the current time, if we subtract 4,160, she'd be basically at 37. Yeah, give or take a few dollars. Okay.
So if, there's two positions in here, right, in the salary line, correct?
Yep,
Mhm.
Okay.
That's all that's in the office, right?
correct.
Yep.
So if the one is 41.5, the other one would be approximately 58. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Plus the $1,000 raise in July.
Correct.
But then we would be over the 99.5.
So I think when I figured as of July to go to the next, when I had my anniversary, to go to the next one, so that was all included in my budget that I submitted.
What do you, okay, we've got 99,543, right? And so you have 58 right now?
Right now.
Okay. So 41.5 and 58 comes up to 0. comes up to 100,000. Without the 1,000,
If you, we don't have a calculator, 1949 times the
280.
2,000, it's not 41, because it's less than $20. So
Well, how
20
many-
times 20, 20 times 2.
How many hours?
1,000 is 40.
Yeah, but how many hours do you figure?
2,000, I mean, you have the 2,000 hours, but it's not, it's 50 cents less than that. So 50 cents less than that is $1,000 than what you had for you, because you were rounding up to $20.
So it's 45? 40,500?
Right.
And you work 2080, right?
Yes.
So even that still is 99, okay.
So 59.
Are any other of these proposed increases in here have an effective date of July? That's the only one.
Right. Because she's at 58 right now, and I believe July goes to 60. But because it's only half year, it'll be 59. So the 59 plus the 40 is the 99.
And then 1 January, it'll be at 60 for next year.
Mhm.
The part that I didn't understand before was, for the generalist position, this saves overtime. But there seemed to be some discrepancy as to whether that person had been paid for overtime in the past. And if they had, where did it come from in the budget?
It would have been charged to the salaries line.
Salaries lines,
Yeah.
since there is no overtime line.
Right.
Excuse me, I don't believe she was paid overtime.
Yes, she was.
She was
Just
paid
once.
overtime.
Yeah.
When she filled in, when Janice
She
left.
filled in, but she wasn't paid overtime
Yes,
for
she
the
was.
hours she stays here
Oh.
till 6 o'clock.
No, but there was a few pay periods where she did get compensated for overtime.
Yeah.
And it came out of the regular salary line because there's no line in the budget for that. And then after that, she was not paid any overtime.
Right. You got two good people in that department.
Right, we got a lot of good
We got a
people,
change.
we got a lot of good people in a lot of the
But we
departments, too.
we had a change in the job description. She's taken on more responsibility. She's taken on all the
Who's taking on more
dental.
job responsibilities?
Debbie,
The
the assistant.
the
Okay.
assistant.
Yeah, she's,
You can then provide us the revised job descriptions, the old
Sure.
and the new?
Yep,
she's.
we'll give you the job description. Yep,
I want the old and the new.
yeah.
Okay. Can you just email that to us?
Sure.
I think that the point that we're trying to make here is that it's not that we don't appreciate all of our employees, okay, in the county. We do.
Mhm.
But when we see such a marked change in one person, that it just isn't consistent with what we're doing.
It seems to me that there's a few winners
And
that have been chosen.
that's where I think that's where we're coming from.
Do you have some problem with paying good people a reasonable amount of money?
And
No.
I would actually
Well, it
say.
certainly appears that you do.
if I may, I actually,
So,
Wait,
because
wait,
of,
wait.
I'm sorry.
because of the related duties that the HR generalist has been reassigned and identified as a definite need in the county, and the change in her job description, and then in going out to all of the other counties, looking at what the generalists make in the other counties, and that they are exempt, adjusting the salary, adjusting the pay amount for this, our generalist, who is now actually classified not only just generalist, but she's benefits administrator also, to reflect her added duties and to make it be fair and equitable with what throughout the state is being done, as far as that range, was why I had come up with that. But also Janice, who was here prior, had put in for her, for generalist Debbie, to be increased based on the amount of duties that she does and what she's responsible for. So the job needs to be reflected as to what the wage range would be also, which is, if anyone came to me as HR director and said, you know, any department, I have this person who has an entire amount of different other related job duties that really are reflective in the job that they do every day, I would hope that the commissioner would say to the HR director, please look at person X, and they need to have their responsibilities in their job description as well as their wage to be compared to throughout other counties and to be adjusted thereto. And that's what I did with this, because it was an evident need. Believe me, if I could have put in my budget there to have an HR person over at the nursing home for at least 20 hours a week, I would have put that in the budget. I knew that would not go with the budget the way things are now, because we desperately need to have an HR person also in addition at the nursing home. And I've actually talked to Debbie about maybe spending a couple of her days over there, very, very specifically over there. But there's the need, and that's, the justification was there as to why that increase and why that significant increase.
Just send us the 2 job descriptions, if you would, and we'll cogitate on them and.
Thanks.
Good word.
Sign on for cogitation.
Oh, you did?
Is that in our job description?
Yeah, it is.
Is that my job description?
Listen, you wouldn't believe the things that are in our job description.
Madam Chairman,
You know that thing, other.
could I ask Representative Godelli, how would you recognize outstanding people? You say we have all good people. We can't give them all a raise, but we can
Well, you're
pick
giving
out
them
some
40 cents.
that are outstanding, and that's what we did. We took 2.
I would just like to see some consistency and a policy in place, and evaluations and job descriptions,
They're there.
They're there.
okay?
And just so that you know, I'm sorry to interrupt, that we are working with all the departments as a directive of the commissioners to the HR director. We're working on coming up with a consistent performance evaluation that fits all employees of the county, even though we don't do merit increases at this point. We don't do those, but to have a consistent performance appraisal process for all of the employees throughout the entire county. That is absolutely one of my goals that I have been given by the commissioners, and
Great.
we will get there.
Great.
So you're right.
How do you get there? Instead of everybody getting 40 cents, you put the money into a merit account and when they, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, and then dole it out. That
Baby
way.
steps.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to look at the 2 job descriptions for the human services generalist.
And that does need to be changed to human resources generally.
Okay.
You can change that.
Okay, let's go with that. Other fees and services? 6,000?
Yep, and part of that was what was already in there for some legal services, and the commissioners had asked me to increase that an additional $1,000 for an employee recognition day, to have something for the employees, where we would have for all of the employees, whether it be a picnic or somehow to recognize all of them and have a very specific day planned.
So we went from, where'd it go? We went from.
5,000.
I'm on the wrong. We went,
5,600 to
Last-
6,000.
Yep.
yeah,
In 2012, it was 2,100.
21. And you said the legal fees for employees comes out of here?
There were some legal fees that came out of that, and I'm sorry, I
I
don't
have-
know if Kathy has them.
I have the detail, the 5625 that
Uh-huh.
was spent in 2013 was all for legal advice, legal consults.
Union contract?
No,
No?
That comes out of individual departments.
no, all just HR.
So since we've hired a new HR director, we shouldn't have that much, should we?
Hopefully next year that'll be adjusted. No guarantees yet this year. Working on it though.
I'm going to move we cut that line by $1,000 then.
Okay.
Okay.
And for what reason?
For you can divide it up as you choose.
Well, but why did you cut it 1,000 and not 2,000?
Well, maybe
Oh,
we
you want to
do
make it
that.
two?
No, I'm serious. Why did you pick 1,000?
For instance, that was the number thrown out for the new employee recognition. If
You
want to
don't-
do it-
you
if
don't think we should
wait, excuse me.
recognize people?
Excuse me, if I could finish. If you want to start recognizing people, you can take it out of elsewhere in your money. You've had budget surpluses each year of $1 million. So I think that there is ways to find money to do that if you want.
If
And,
I could.
If I could mention also, I had to sit through a candidates' night last week and hear criticism of selectmen candidates about their lack of concern for people who are struggling. And hear that there are maybe a dozen kids at Kingswood Academy who they have to put meals in backpacks for on Friday to send home so they know that kid is eating over the weekend. And so, that's, one of the realities that I'm dealing with.
I would personally think that the legal fees should go down this year. I know we had some leftover things, last year, some that were a result of some instability, I guess is the right term, in the office. And I think that you've promised not to leave, otherwise you get chained to your desk, so you have.
And unfortunately, some of that residual is impacted in the budget we're in right
Right.
now. So absolutely, I would hope that next year's budget, that will be reflected, but I can't guarantee that this year, that residual isn't going to be still there.
Some of it will, most of it won't. Okay. Anything else on our HR?
The only thing I would say is, in general, it seems to me that the whole telephone budget needs to be tied up with the commissioners coming up with a phone policy, because it's going to impact that budget too, or the whatever you call the damn things, the things on wires.
Oh, telephone. I mean, regular. Like that one.
Landline.
Well, cell phone policy is going to impact
Landline.
Right.
landline. Thank you, landline policy, and it would
Right.
seem to me that I don't want to mess with the budget right now, but it would seem to me that all of that would be dealt with at the same time.
Yes, go
And I
ahead.
believe that with some of the other things that have been, are in the process of being implemented, with looking at phone systems, looking at reducing all those costs throughout the entire campus, including this building. Yes. And the other piece is, I know that you talk about a cell phone policy, and we do have a cell phone policy, a usage policy for the county. We do have it in our personnel policy, but the determination
Right.
as to who needs
Right.
a cell phone, I think the commissioners can work with the department heads, because that's just, I believe you would all be in agreement that that's a tool to do your job and to do it the most effective way that you can. So a usage, a who gets one policy versus we do have a cell phone policy on the usage part of it. So,
But I know, I'm not talking about that side. I'm
Right.
talking about
exactly, yeah.
the other side.
Yep, and hopefully that will, next year, if we go through this telephone and costs, that will go down. Yeah,
I don't know, might go up.
I hope it goes down.
Okay. All right, is there, let's see.
Could I just ask about the
Uh-huh.
IT line there? Or I guess we'll get into IT.
No,
Maybe
go
more in
ahead.
2 weeks, just, the increase
Go ahead.
there from 12,000 to 16,000.
Yeah, well, you had,
I think that was another piece of Kronos that,
some licensing.
I think that was some
Issues?
licensing for Kronos, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't bring that paper with me, but I think that was some more licensing.
That's the six from 12,000 to
Just- yeah.
16,
Yeah.
$4,000.
And that would be just a one-time,
Yep.
that would be a one-time thing.
I think after that, we have plenty, by that point, we'll have plenty of licenses to cover all of the campus.
So we're up roughly $20,000. 157.2 to 176.2. I mean, actual
Mhm.
spent.
Right.
So in the course of 3 years, we've gone from 127 to 176. Okay. Are we, does that cover all of our questions that we have? Okay. Okay, that was a grant. Okay, let's look over on revenue. And I'm not exactly sure how we can go from $1.22 to $1,000.
On that interest income,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Catherine has to look at that for me to see.
By way of $60,000.
Right, because what's happened, so I'm having her look into that.
Okay. So you'll get us some
Yeah.
kind of new figure for
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay. And then the same thing on the general fund accounts?
Yeah, I think what's happened is, they're charging us some fees, the bank. No?
I think I'd find another bank if they're
Yeah, well,
charging
we
you
did,
fees.
we did. We changed this year.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yeah,
And our Representative Chandler didn't really get an answer to his question of how much was not spent last year out of the budget?
Okay, we had,
Excuse me, how much was not spent, Madam Chairman? How much on what?
The entire,
Surplus?
yeah.
Right.
What day?
okay.
Surplus.
For unexpended, we had 770,000.
Okay.
And revenues, we had an additional 293.
Okay, and this
So,
was
so budget-wise,
2012.
we had 700,000 as a balance
As expenditures, leftover in
in
expenditures.
expenditures, right?
And then we had additional revenues
Right,
of 293.
right.
You said 770, didn't you?
770,000, yeah.
Almost 800,000.
To me, I think that's a plus, to have that 700,000 left over. I think, if I remember correct, Representative Cadelli said, watch the fourth quarter, make sure you don't expend more.
Right.
We could tell our people, you got a budget, spend it all. We don't do that. We try to save.
Do we also, on the nursing home, you probably don't have those figures, do you?
Which numbers are you referring? You mean what's left over?
Mhm.
It's like 1,058,000. Because remember, you wanted to keep that much?
In the nursing home?
Yeah,
1 million what?
like 58,000.
Not spent.
At the old, for the old, to do stuff.
No, I'm talking about the regular nursing home.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The nursing home enterprise fund, how did that turn out?
Well, expenditures were under by 362,000.
Under budget?
Under budget, that's all part of this 770.
As part of the 770.
Yeah.
And so we're saying that was tax money that we put in to make up the difference, is that correct?
Well, you want to know what revenues were?
Yes.
So revenues were in excess of 322,000 at the nursing home.
Over.
Yeah,
Over budget.
over what was anticipated, yeah.
Kathy, Madam Chairman?
Just a second, 300 and what?
322,000.
From budgeted.
That's in addition to the 293.
That's part of that equation,
It's part of that equation.
yeah.
Part of the 362?
It's part of the 293.
293.
So other places lost money.
The other areas didn't earn. Yeah.
Oh, so this revenue is part of this revenue?
Right,
Yes.
right, it's all part of the total.
Okay. Now, Dave, go ahead.
Well, my question was, I thought you said 322,000 over estimated revenue.
Yeah,
Yet up top, up top on my sheet, you explained that the 362 underspent was part of the 770 not spent.
right, right.
Okay, well, if it's 332 over,
That's in the revenue side?
So somewhere, oh, I see what was in 11 meant, somebody underspent badly.
Oh, they
No.
lost money.
They didn't make as much as
They
they thought
didn't
they
make as much
would.
money.
All the water department.
Said Gina and the sheriff. Somebody needs to look at the rules for enterprise funds.
Are there rules?
Oh, yeah, they're rules.
Any money generated in the enterprise fund cannot be used to offset other
Oh.
departments.
Yeah, I know, except that we're doing that.
How are we doing? I mean, we did it by just adding these numbers up, but how are we doing it in general?
The enterprise fund cost more than what came in revenue for the enterprise fund.
You just said it was over in revenue.
That's what budgeted revenue, but revenues for the enterprise fund were 11,021,799. Expenditures for the enterprise fund were 11,774,242.
So it's
So
700,000?
we overexpended in,
It's never level funded.
Right.
The two.
And that's
Revenue.
made up for by taxes.
right,
Yeah.
yes. But I'm just looking at the difference, it was $750,000.
Mhm.
Well, we just need to make me feel better. We can just,
Are they in the RSA? I'll look them up.
it's all in the RSA on enterprise funds.
I'll look them up.
And we, I don't know what,
I mean, there's been years past that, the enterprise fund is more than 2 million. It's gotten better,
Mhm.
gotten closer.
Yep, I know. Maybe one day we'll break even with it. Okay. I know I asked everybody to think about the raises and so on. And if I looked at this correctly, we're talking, is that 60,000
60,000, yeah.
in raises?
60,000.
One is 71.
I don't know, what's this total down here, the 71
That's
versus?
that's the taxes.
The what?
Social Security.
Oh,
Medicare,
Social Security and, okay.
And retirement.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Oh, it's these three added,
Yeah.
four added together,
Yeah.
okay.
I went through just playing around with the numbers,
Mhm.
and a 30-cent increase was $40,778. So just,
And that is not giving the other, not giving the money to the,
no, that was just a straight 30%, 30 cents versus 40 cents. So I didn't change any of the base numbers or,
no, I'm talking about the 3,000 and the 4160.
right, it reduced a little bit. But instead, for instance,
But neither the 41
oh,
nor
I
the 3,000
see what you mean, yeah.
are a result of the 40 cents. And I assume these others that don't come up to the 832.
Right, because they only work 3 or 4 days a
They're
week or
part-time.
some part, yeah,
Of some.
right, yeah.
And this retirement system, okay, increasing at $832 increases our contribution to retirement.
Depends, some are, if they're group 2, group
Yeah.
1, there's a different rate,
Right, I understand that.
okay.
Go ahead.
I'm looking here at the farm here, and somebody got a raise, and yet there was no cost of increase. The little farm hand.
Right, oh, up here?
I mean, went from 11.4 to 11.80.
I didn't put, he's part-time, I didn't put in his, I didn't calculate his hours.
Okay.
But there are increases that go along with that.
Yeah,
And the same thing down here under the nurse, RN nurse
right,
manager.
right, because the hours weren't given to me. No, I don't know for sure how many hours.
Well, here's the answer.
We'll find out.
Either they tell us, or they don't get a raise. It's figured at 0. Works for me.
Because what happens is some of these people have been switching around from regular hourly to per diem, and because per diem is not getting an increase, but per diem starts out higher.
We didn't give the per diems any increase this year.
No.
Okay. We'll, I'll let you think about this and let me know what your thoughts are. It's going to be a hodgepodge of many different things, I'm sure, that we'll have to sift through.
There's a little information, I probably should make copies for the 3 of you, what like Wolfboro, Moultonboro, Ossipee are doing for their staff. So you know.
Okay. That would be good.
I can email it to you?
Yep.
Does that work?
Mhm.
That worked,
Okay.
yeah.
That'll work.
I know that Tufton Borough is contracting for an analysis rather than doing an across-the-board increase because of a discrepancy between payments for various jobs seem to be way out of whack. Recycling manager getting paid more than a policeman.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
we did that.
I think I'll be the recycling manager.
Yeah.
Did that in Moultonboro a couple of years ago, and I think it cost 17,000 to do the, I'm not sure what.
Yeah,
which
it was
is
only 6 or 7, I think, for Tufton Borough. It's a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, can I ask a question to the 3 of you from each 3 towns? What percentage does your employees pay towards health insurance? Or is it 100% the town pays?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
How much does your town pay towards health insurance for your employees?
What percentage?
What percentage?
Well, here's the deal in Conway.
Now, just health insurance now.
I'm
asking.
just talking health insurance,
Okay.
okay? There's a plan, I don't know what it is, but there's one plan, and the town pays 80% of that plan,
Okay,
okay? However, there are other options for plans that the employee can choose. And if he chooses a cheaper option, then he still gets the same amount of money as if he had picked the standard plan. So it's,
Why would somebody want to choose a cheaper plan? Because it cut down in there 20%?
I would, maybe they don't need maternity coverage.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Tuftonboro?
I'm not sure. We could ask Representative Wright, who was on the Budget Committee.
Okay, but, okay.
It's not on the list.
In your town?
Mine's a small town, and as far as I know, we don't offer any coverage.
No.
We don't have employees
Oh,
besides the elected ones.
no town highway department?
I think it's just like Eaton, isn't it?
We have a road agent,
Okay.
and
He does all of the work?
yeah, and
Or subs it.
we farm out most of the rest of the stuff. Tell me if I'm wrong, Ed. We farm out the rest of the stuff to Wakefield.
Oh,
You know, like we have no police department, no fire department, no schools.
That's like, just like Eaton.
yep.
You don't have any, do you have a road agent?
Yes, we do.
And that's it?
And we have a part-time helper.
Yeah, we have a road agent, and
A part-time helper.
I don't even know we have a part-time helper. Because most of the roads in my town are state highways.
You got two part-times?
No, I'm saying Brookfield has, it's workman's comp they have.
No, we're talking about health insurance.
Yeah, that, I don't believe you did.
Yeah.
So Tuftonboro has a police department, you have a highway department, so you must be paying some kind of health benefits to those people, and you don't know what it is.
No.
Could you find out, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, haven't received a copy of the union contract, so that tells me it's not going anyplace.
It may not be done for the 1st of April either.
It better be done before, I don't believe that the delegation is going to accept it on the 31st and expect to vote on it that day. I mean, that's just,
These two people are on the,
We have a meeting.
Committee.
Thursday, we have a union meeting.
but, I mean, that's,
Sheriff's Department went without a contract 1 year prior to me getting here,
yeah, well, it's not unusual.
and never been able to catch up.
Not unusual.
The other part of that, Madam Chairman, is if we're pushed into a certain block, we're giving away our leverage.
Pardon?
I said, if we're pushed into a situation that it has to be done by X date, we're giving away our leverage.
I'm just, the budget is, that's the budget date.
But there's always a supplemental budget that has to be done before the 1st of September.
And you think that we're going to do something with the supplemental budget?
I'm not speaking for the union, I'm not supporting the union.
I'm speaking for the delegation,
And they should be speaking for
which I probably shouldn't, because you never know. Okay, I think that's it, right?
So,
It's a wrap.
so now the 17th is when the next regular delegation meeting
Right,
will
the next
take
delegation meeting is on the 17th. And if you could, the changes
place that we have,
and
other departments. did
other people, if we can get a new,
For the 17th.
yeah.
So if they have subcommittee meetings, they can get me the numbers,
Mhm.
and I can put them in. Okay.
Everybody, I think everybody should have a subcommittee meeting between
Sounds like they wanted to.
now and then.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Because of,
And this is ours, right?
Just send them
yeah,
an email.
I think we've covered everything that we needed to.
It's gonna cost the county some money.
Oh, I don't know whether he did or not. He probably accidentally left it.
Okay.
You want to,
Did he say he was?
no, he left. You
Yeah,
wanna-
he's
you wanna
not
call
coming tomorrow,
Mark
right?
and- I don't know. Call Mark and tell him. Or actually, I could take it and give it to him on
I think he said he wasn't
Wednesday.
gonna come, yeah. I don't think
Yeah,
he's
why
gonna-
don't you give it to me and I'll
I was
take
gonna
it.
say, if you want me to scan it and email it to him.
Well, I don't know if he even wants it. I'll take it to him because I'll see him in Concord on Wednesday. I'll probably forget it, but I'll stick it in my, I'll stick. Okay, was there anything else that we needed to discuss?
All set? Let's go get a glass
So
of
this,
water.
this
My head is
subcommittee has
pounding.
approved what you've just discussed? That's your recommendation of the full delegation?
That'll be our recommendation. The only thing that we haven't come to grips with is on the raises. And these two guys are gonna get back to me with their thoughts. And as I said, once we have those thoughts together, then we'll put them out.
And when do you see the final budget being done?
For the 31st?
Goes right down to the line. to the
You know, I
every
imagine,
year.
I would imagine that we can vote on it on the 24th. Because I'm going to tell people, I'm going to say that the 17th is your last day for any kind of,
Changes.
and so we'll, on the 24th, we'll have a few things that we have to, or on the 17th, we'll still have a few things that we have to
Right.
come to grips with, like.
And then Kathy can apply any changes
Right.
during that following week.
Mhm,
Yeah, and have it ready for the 24th.
mhm.
Thank you.
That's the goal. How far we get?
I'm gonna go to adjourn.